Guys. Good morning. Let's begin today's session. Hello. Let's begin our class for today. So keep your back and neck straight and gently close your eyes. Start observing your breath. Just watch the natural flow of the breathing. Take a few moments to adjust your posture. Make sure that you are stable and comfortable in your final position. And slowly begin to deepen the breathing. Relax your mind. And we'll start adding the retention. So after your next inhalation, hold your breath in for about 2 seconds and then go into the process of exhalation. We'll be chanting Om 3 times, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just observe the vibrations. Join your palms together and rub your palms together. Place your palms on your eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes, start coming back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. Let us begin our session for today. So yesterday we had a very long discussion on the ways in which we have to interact with the society. And today we are covering the niyamas, which are ways in which we should interact with our own selves, right? So niyamas outline how we should conduct ourselves personally. Okay. So the first one, which comes under niyamas, is shauch. Shauch or cleanliness. Okay. First, we'll write down all five, then we will discuss. Santosh or satisfaction. Tapas or austerity. Swadhyay or introspection. And last is Ishwar Pranidhan or surrender to God. So I'll just spell all of them out. Shauch is SAUCHA. Then Santosh is SANTOSH. Tapas, these three we have done already. TAPAS. Swadhyay, SVADHAYA. And Ishwar Pranidhan, ISHWARPRANIDHAN. Okay, so here we can see three of them are actually being repeated. No, we have already covered them. So even a beginner, they incorporate this thing, these three aspects. So first, let's discuss the first two. Okay, which is our shauch and santosh. Okay, so shauch means cleanliness. All right. So cleanliness doesn't only mean that you are maintaining the cleanliness on a bodily level, right? It is talking about the deeper cleansing as well. As I mentioned yesterday, that all the aspects are talking about the external and the internal both, right? So on an external level, how do we maintain the cleanliness? So bathe every day, right? Wash your face every day, right? You do all of these things to maintain yourself. You um, do the shatkarmas regularly, right? So your nasal cleansing or the cleansing that your digestive tract needs every once in a while. So you follow the shatkarmas, right? Clean your ears, cut your nails, right? And all of these things, help you to maintain a clear mind, right? So just compare 2 days, one where you don't go and bathe, and one day when you go and bathe, your state of mind will become totally different, right? It's not just for the physical cleanliness that we bathe, right? If you are in a very low mood, right, and you go and bathe, right? Even scientific studies are showing that, there is an upliftment in mood, right, when we bathe. So apart from all other reasons, it breaks that chain of thoughts that is going on in your mind. When you cut your nails, when you maintain that hygiene, right, then you only feel better, right? Some people don't acknowledge this, some people acknowledge this, right? But overall, human beings, we like cleaning up. Like we like wearing proper clothes. When you wear proper clothes, then you see your sense of motivation is totally different. That is why, school uniforms do us so much good, right? When people wear school uniforms or when they go to work, they are supposed to dress up in a certain way, then it adds to their productivity, right? And you will sometimes see people who are generally like not they don't have to compulsorily it's not compulsory for them to follow a dress code. Even sometimes they prefer following a dress code, right? Because it does act as a stimulation to the mind that now you are going to do something. That is why you will see, for cooking, people have different kinds of clothes. Then if you go for a particular activity, different sports have different ways of dressing up, right? So all of these things, they help the mind to become more aligned towards what it is supposed to do, right? So maintaining the cleanliness on a bodily level is very, very important. And then on a mental level also. So suppose you are maintaining the cleanliness on a physical level, you will find a lot of people who do that. But the mind also needs the cleansing. The mind also needs the training. You have to conduct yourself properly, right? You will find a lot of people who dress up very well, and then when they speak, all the charm is gone. Right? Why is this? Because the mind is not being trained. So it's equally important to constantly cleanse the mind also. you know Everybody, most of the day you have negative thoughts, most of the day, right? So it's our responsibility to at least balance those things out. Or if we are able to move towards a more optimistic approach, right? Only we can do it, nobody else can come and do it for us. And this happens with the cleansing only. Initially you will move from the negative to the positive, then you will want to go beyond these dualities. But it's very important for you to manage your approach as well, right? So, which leads me to the second niyama, which is santosh, right? Or contentment, right? This sense of contentment that you constantly have to work on. So, initially, you will have to work on it, right? That you feel content, but eventually it will come to you naturally. So initially it will seem as if you are being mechanical, right? But eventually you will start noticing more and more, right, how everything is working in your favor. And it is very important to be content, right? So if I am not content right now, the chances of me achieving my goals and then being content is very low. Why? Because I never trained my mind. you know what is the training of the mind? That whatever I have currently, it's not enough, right? That is why I'm constantly chasing my goals, and I attach my happiness to a particular goal, right? So when I achieve that goal, the satisfaction will remain for a while, and then again, because the mind hasn't been trained, again it will start chasing another thing, right, rather than observing what I have achieved, right? So most people set goals, which is very good, right? I never ever say that you should leave your goals or not be ambitious, as long as you are training the mind, right? If you are content today, right, then the chances of you being happy when you achieve your goals is very, very high. Why? Because now you have trained the mind to be happy with what it has, right? So suppose you want to get some vehicle, or you want to build your dream house, right? So you people spend their entire lives doing that thing, right? And once they achieve it, they are unable to enjoy that. Why? Because in this whole like journey of trying to make their dream come true, right, they forget other aspects, right? And you have to be very mindful of this thing, right? Whenever you are setting goals, you have to observe where you are, and you have to accept that wherever you are, it's exactly where you are meant to be, right? There's no less or more. In this, at this point of time, you guys are exactly where you are supposed to be, right? And when you incorporate this kind of approach, your entire perspective shifts, right? Now you don't need the goal, you want the goal, right? So you are moving it from a place of need to a place of want, right? After that, of course, you will work on your desires, and that is also, the quality of your desires will begin to change. But at least you don't need that thing to feel better, right? You are you know exactly the you are basically enough, you know this thing is not uh, said to us a lot, right? Most of the times you will see when you go to someone for advice, they will tell you what you can do better, but nobody tells us we are enough the way we are. And this is the training that you have to give to the mind. It will always run behind things because it has a negative approach. It will always look for things that you still need to do, right? But no, you have to first believe that wherever you are exactly there, you are supposed to be there, and that you are enough, and that you are deserving, right? Whatever goals you are setting, you are deserving of those, right? Most of the barriers are set by us only towards our goals. We set the goals and then we also make the barriers, right? So when we begin to remove the barriers, your goals will begin to happen for you, right? So you have to change your perspective a little bit. You have to shift it, right? And as you train the mind like this, you will see, if you receive the thing, it's okay. If you don't receive the thing, your worth is not questioned. Most people place their worth on their goals. If they don't achieve the marks, then they're not worthy, right? If they don't achieve the income, then they're not worthy, or the job, then they're not worthy. No, you guys are whatever you are right now, it is enough, right? You have to begin to believe that thing. But everything around you will make you believe otherwise, right? Because that is what advertising is, right? How will the products, move in the market if we are not told that we are if we are told we are enough, right? You don't need most of the things you are using, right? But it's the advertisement which has seeped deeply into our mind. We need the updated version of the phone, we need the perfect laptop, right? So this is the everything that we are being exposed to is actually making us feel as if we are less, right? And the day you begin to observe this thing, right, that you are deserving and you are sufficient, right, your entire perspective towards things, it begins to change, right? So you can do this in multiple ways, one of which I really like, and sometimes even like now I don't I try to practice it as regularly as possible, and which we do at the end of the class is gratitude. The more grateful you feel for the things you have, initially it will seem very mechanical, that you are feeling grateful for food, right? But you're supposed to have food, no? But initially, when you start feeling grateful towards the little things, you will see this shift come in. So it comes in when you actually observe all the ordinary things around you, right? And even a scientific study was done on this thing. So a few people who won the lottery, right? So they were followed for a few days. People followed them, some people, right? And they saw that the habits they had before they won the lottery, were exactly the habits they had after they won the lottery. Only a few days, like after they won the lottery, they celebrated a lot, right? And then they went back to their normal routines, right? So nothing, like I'm not saying that it's not a big achievement, right? But if you work on your habit patterns, then only you will see that shift. Nothing as such substantial, happens which will push you to change, right? Your mind, not how you are acting, but the mind. So you have to consistently work on the mind to make it see that you are, satisfied, you are content. And it comes with training, right? Initially, even I didn't believe like that there is some kind of training that is to be given, right? But as I started practicing gratitude more and more, I saw a shift, right, come in. So now I really appreciate when I get warm food, right? Or maybe some food I really like and it is like made on a particular day. So I started observing this thing, that I was also feeling more grateful than I had anticipated, right? Or expected out of this entire thing. So you guys can also always begin and just look for contentment right now, right? Then no matter what you are aiming for, it's bound to give you contentment, right? So the next three we have already discussed, but for a beginner level, these come more mechanically than um, the intermediate level practitioner, right? So tapas is again your austerity. So you begin to change your routines a little bit, which take you out of your comfort zone, which give you that kind of sense that you're putting in some kind of work, and it develops your will, right? So tapas, again, it will help you to achieve the first two. So both your Shauch and Santosh. It's only when you get out of your comfort zone and do something beyond that you begin to work on the other two, right? You are able to add more work, and it develops your mental will. So your mind will, come and try to constantly make you feel you are not enough, right? So this tapas is going to help you to stick to what you are actually aiming for, right? That you are enough, right? So this thing is going to help you to stick to that thought, even when most of the factors are opposing that thing. Your external reality, sometimes people come by and they say something, right? Or maybe somebody really close to you, maybe a family member or a sibling comes and say that you are not doing as well. So who it's your responsibility to constantly, remind yourself this thing. Nobody else will come and remind you, right? So tapas really helps you to develop that mental will, right? Then you come to swadhyay. So swadhyay over here is again your introspection or self introspection, right? Where you are now reading. So reading is also a very important part when you begin on the path of on this path, right, of the eight limbs. So you surround yourself with the books, the kind of material which is going to help you to cleanse the mind. Shauch, shauch on a mental level is done through introspection, right? On a physical level, of course, you are doing the asanas, you are doing shatkarma, these things are cleaning your body. But on the mental level, it's only introspection that puts in that work, right? When you begin to, read or just change your environment in such a way where you are more exposed to the things which are closer to the um, universal truths, that is when the mind also begins to get cleansed. Because I could have used that time to Netflix or maybe read some fictional novel, but now I'm choosing to watch something or read something which is of this nature, right? So that same energy is present, but now I'm directing it giving it some other direction, right? So this helps in the mental cleansing. You will see when you read something or watch a movie, your mind is totally concentrated on that thing. So other things, they don't disturb you, or they don't, cause that kind of fluctuation in the mind, right? You're totally focused on doing that thing. So your introspection, on a very basic level, when you change the environment in order to see, and sometimes you will read some books or watch some movies, no matter how many times you watch them, every time you get a new message, right? Same movie you are watching, but depending on your life, what phase you are going through, you get a completely different message out of them. So such books and movies, they are like lifelong. Watch those movies over and over again. Like after 5 years, again we watch them. You will get something new out of them, right? So this helps you to reflect when you watch something and have that aha moment. Oh, I didn't see this thing. That is why they say this thing. So we reflect when when the senses are engaged in watching or reading something. The mind consistently processes things, and it reflects. It has this habit of reflecting. So you just change your content and your material, and you see how that thing works for you, right? And last one is very, very important for anyone to do: surrender. And I have talked a lot about the sense of surrender, so I will not elaborate more on that, right? But it's very important, right, to empty your cup before you go and learn something new. Always sit as like a little kid, right, like this, right, trying to understand, okay, what is this new thing. you it's very important to have that attitude, no matter how old you are, or how many times you have learned that same thing. It always has the potential to teach you something new, right? If only you can empty your cup and sit with an open mind and open ears, right? I really and truly believe in this thing. And always take something, never discard something if you don't like one or two aspects of it. Just take whatever you like, and rest you can leave behind. I really believe in this thing also, right? That completely discarding, before completely discarding the idea, you can see what you liked or what is relevant for you in that thing, right? And you can keep those things. Nobody is telling you to take the entire thing as it is, right? Just take whatever you like, all the flavors of the toffee you like, and leave the rest behind, right? If it's supposed to, you know come back to you, it will. Okay. Or you will later on understand it more deeply, right? But don't leave your practice. That is the only thing which will help you to understand the other aspects also, right? So these are our 5 niyamas. So these things you can incorporate in your everyday life, and you can see the kind of change it brings into your approach or perspective towards life, right? So these are personally for us, right? The third limb is your asana. ASANA. So asan or posture. So this means posture, right? So Patanjali ji has talked very differently about posture. He doesn't mean all the headstands and handstands that you guys do. No. He said that he has actually given the quality of the posture, right? So he has, first thing, he has given the meaning of the posture with regard to a meditative posture, right? Because Raj Yoga is all about um, developing or working towards uh, the goal of uh, working with the mind basically to reach the final goal, right? And when you work on the mind, you are doing meditation, right? So you have to prepare yourself for meditation, right? So asana, this term actually means two things. Okay. if you read Bhagavad Gita, you will see asana mentioned as something you sit on, right? In Bhagavad Gita, this is the meaning, and I'm telling you this because even this is very relevant, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, proper description has been given. Whatever you are sitting on, what the quality of that thing should be, right? But overall, that is why I always tell you that set up your space, right? Wherever you are sitting, sit over there only to practice again and again, and never share your mat with anyone. Okay, so the mat that you are using, it's your mat. Okay, it captures your energy, right? If somebody else practices on it, then again you will see that if you observe closely, then again you are working on building your energy, right? All your clothes, everything that you use, basically it captures your energy, right? So if you give your share, be very mindful of sharing your things with other people also. Why? Because it's capturing your energy, right? And after a while, if you like give that thing away and you get that back, you don't feel the same, no? When you get that thing back after a very long time, it's because you, when it was in your space, it had a particular energy, it captured your energy. Then when the space changed, then again it captured that energy, right? So in that same way, one thing, meaning of asana is the whatever you choose to sit on, right? So try to go for something natural, right? Here we apart from yoga mats, if you get a hold of a rug is a really good uh, uh, thing to practice on, right? Or you can go for natural mats also. Even the mat that you currently have, that's also all right, right? But eventually you will see that the mat also is having an impact on your practices, right? So always, I told you earlier also, I'd always go for a mat. The color that you like, the kind of shape or the kind of dimensions that you like, always choose a mat of that type, right? And keep that with you. Okay, so don't share your mats, right? Keep that mat with you for your practice, right? Then what you can the second meaning of asana is posture. This is the one that Patanjali ji has talked of, and he has given two qualities of posture, so stable and comfortable. So he did not talk of all the hatha yogic practices, right? He never opposed it also, right? But when he talked of asana, he said that the quality of the asana should be stable and comfortable. So when you're sitting for pranayam, when you're sitting for meditation, you will see generally this instruction is given, be stable, be comfortable, right? Because these are the two qualities that will determine how well your asana practice is going, right? This is actually the standard. So whenever you can incorporate this in your asana classes also. So whenever you are doing some asana in the asana class, right, then see, is your in the final position, are you comfortable and are you stable, right? Because all the asana practice is actually done to prepare the body so that it can sit for a longer period of time, right? So whatever asanas that you are doing, if you are just moving again and again and again and again, right? So dynamic flow, you guys are practicing more. But when you are asked to be stable, right? Like in Surya Namaskar, in downward facing dog, you take a few breaths. So you have to check that you have to eventually become comfortable in that. It's as if you can practice meditation in it, right? So that is your standard, right? And second thing, it has to be stable. If your body keeps moving, means you have to put in more work into that asana. And the longer you will hold, the more you will increase your time. So with step by step increasing your time, not like one day you are practicing for 10 seconds, another day you are directly going for 1 minute. No, step by step increase your practice, and incorporate the stability, right? So according to Patanjali, this is what asana is. No matter what asana, which asana you do. And when he has talked of the asana, he actually means the sitting posture. So especially for sitting posture, you guys, whenever you go for pranayama or meditation, make sure both these things are incorporated. And if they are currently not, then you have to work towards them, right? So when he gave this description of asana, he said that the asana is perfected when it becomes effortless. Okay, so in the next sutra itself, he said that how do you determine that you have perfected the asana? So the point of determination or understanding this is when it becomes effortless. Like when we sit or not sit, when we stand, till a particular amount of time, it is effortless, no, for us to stand, right? So standing is also an asana. It's the way in which the body is, it's also one type of posture of the body, right? So in that same way, the asana that you perfect, right? The perfection will be determined by this thing, that it becomes effortless after a while. You're just able to sit. There's no issue. You are just sitting and it's just a posture of the body for you. It becomes completely effortless. And Patanjali has mostly talked of the sitting postures, right? So only one asana you need, right? Like only one meditation you need to choose, right? And you need to practice it. So according to Patanjali also, you don't have to practice so many asanas. You don't have to perfect so many asanas. Only one perfection in one asana in which you can do meditation, that is enough, right? All the practices that you are doing to reach this stage, that when you choose the posture for your meditation, right, it is stable, comfortable and effortless, right? So out of such variety, you only have to choose again one only, right? Whichever one you like the most, right? So then what happens when you do the asana? He also told, that what is happening when we do the asana. So he said that one comes out of dualities. So suppose I choose the cross-legged position, because my mind is currently set that I have to do meditation, So I choose this cross-legged position that I'm sitting in, right? And it becomes stable, comfortable, and effortless, right? That moment it, becomes this way, right? The dualities will go away, right? So suppose dualities mean your hot and cold. So suppose you know, you guys wake up pretty early to attend your classes, right? So when it's winters, it's very hard to wake up, no? And in summers, you are at least able to wake up. You are able to convince yourself, right? So this duality of the weather, it changes your effort to wake up, right? If it's too cold, then it's very hard to wake up. And if it's a warm weather, it will become easier for you to wake up, get up, right? And it causes so much suffering, no? Especially in winters when you have to make so much effort to wake up, right? So this is duality, hot and cold, right? So this duality will cease to exist, right? In your body, this duality is going to cease to exist. Now same amount of effort is required for both the seasons. Seasons will not determine basically how you wake up or what kind of effort it takes, and it happens just with the mastery of asana, right? He said if you master the asana, all of these dualities are going to cease to exist. Have you seen, like, if you have uh, seen some yogis, they sit on top of mountains, no, for years and years they are sitting over there. How are they able to do it? They have perfected the asana. For them the duality does not exist. the season does not change for the kind of effort they are putting in. It's so difficult to live on top of a mountain where it is snowing, no? And they wear like minimum clothes, right? They don't even have those kinds of jackets and everything. So how are they able to overcome this, just with the perfection of the asana? The dualities cease to exist, right? That is when you become ready for pranayam, right? So we are really, really far off right now, right? From even doing the practices, we are far off, right? So Hatha Yoga Asana, in Hatha Yoga Asana means different, and according to Patanjali, Asana means different, right? Then we come to pranayam, okay? Any doubts so far before I start the next one? No? Okay. So his entire perspective on the practices is completely different, right? So you're basically getting an insight into how the same words are used in Raj Yoga, but they are used quite differently. So pranayam, because I have been taking up pranayam classes, in the beginning of the pranayam classes, I told you what it means according to Patanjali, right? So it means cessation of the movement of the breath, right? So cessation of the movement of breath is what pranayam is according to Patanjali. I'm just writing it down if you want to note it again, right? But I wrote it down, I think, in the beginning of the classes also. So when there is cessation in this movement, inhalation and exhalation, right? So when this thing happens, he says that this is what pranayama is. So not all the variation that the Hatha Yoga provides, right? We have practiced so many pranayams till now, right? So all of those are Hatha Yogic practices actually. They are not according to Raj Yoga. Those are not the practices. Patanjali has given total 4 pranayams, right? In his text. Okay, so you guys know the Puraka, Rechaka. Right. So Puraka, Kumbhaka, Rechaka. Puraka is Puraka. I told you Puraka is what? Slow, long, and deep inhalation. And this inhalation, you are aware of it. So breathing is going on throughout the day, no? Even when you sleep, breathing is going on. But when you do Puraka, then the quality that is incorporated is what? The quality of this first thing, being conscious of what you are doing. And then you are deepening, slow, long, and deep, right? Then followed by Kumbhak. So this Kumbhak, when he talks of this retention, okay, Kumbhak means retention. Kumbhaka. So this is supported by the process of the other two. So inhalation and exhalation support this retention, right? So retention means either internal or external, it can be both, but it is supported by inhalation and exhalation. So he said this is the second type of pranayam, the retention, right? And then the third type of pranayam is exhalation, rechaka, RECHAKA. So again, conscious, slow, long, and deep, right? All the qualities are again incorporated in the exhalation also, right? Fourth type of pranayam, which is actually the goal of all pranayams, right? Which is your 𝐾𝐽𝐿𝐼, 𝐾𝐽𝐿𝐼, right? So this kumbhak, when you do this retention, when you do, then it is not supported by the inhalation and exhalation. It naturally occurs, right? So you are looking at the retention which is occurring naturally. Initially, you are making effort. You are inhaling, you are holding, then you are exhaling, then also maybe you are holding, right? It depends what is the what level of practice you have reached, right? But this retention is supported by the inhalation and exhalation at all times, right? But there comes the time when the inhalation, exhalation, there is no and retention. All these three are not separate from one another. These become one, right? When the retention comes naturally, right? And that point is called 𝐾𝐽𝐿𝐼, right? When the and this will you will only understand as you practice, right? So in theoretical terms, I have explained it to you, but there comes a point when you naturally experience this thing. So maybe you have experienced it during meditation, no? At one point of time, you are just sitting with your closed eyes, and suddenly you become scared, no? Am I breathing or am I not breathing? Right? So sometimes the breath becomes subtle, sometimes actually it is suspended. It's actually suspended. Right? So you have entered the stage of 𝐾𝐽𝐿𝐼, right? So this thing can only be experienced. I cannot, uh, uh, even if I keep telling you theoretically about it, there's no way in which you can actually uh, deeply understand this, because it's something that is meant to be experienced rather than understood, right? The experience will make you understand, right? So these are the 4 pranayams that he has talked of in his text, right? So tomorrow we will discuss more and complete our remaining limbs, right? Any doubts in today's session? No doubts? All right, guys. So today you guys studied niyamas. So whatever you can incorporate, again, it's totally up to you, right? Whatever you feel is practical for you and you can incorporate, try to incorporate those practices, right? So we'll end today's session. Keep your back and neck straight and very gently close your eyes. We'll chant Om one time, followed by 3 Shantis. Inhale deeply for Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Join your palms together and bow down. We'll begin our day with a sense of gratitude. Rub your palms together. Keep them on the eyes. Very slowly, while blinking and looking at your palms, begin to open up your eyes. Start coming back with a smile. And namaste to everyone. I will see you all in your pranayam class. So take care, guys, and bye-bye.